Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Jeff White, Jeff White Fitness Solutions. Thanks for checking out this video today. And today, I just want to talk about something that you never hear mainstream media talk about, which is gold. They always talk about things like stocks and bonds and crypto, but they rarely talk about gold. If anything, they talk about how gold is an ancient relic and the US doesn't need it anymore. But I thought this was very interesting. So take a listen to this video and let's talk about it. And also, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I like to talk about a lot of different things that can help us grow physically, mentally, spiritually, and financially. And today we're going to talk about something that helps us financially. All right, so let's check this out.
Well, it appears the Trump administration is in brainstorm mode when it comes to containing the massive budget deficit. On the table, revaluing the country's gold reserves and creating 50 to 100-year bonds. Investor Peter Boockvar tackling the viability of these ideas in a note today. Peter, CNBC contributor, joins us now. He's the Bleakley Financial Group Chief Investment Officer. Peter, great to have you with us.
Hi, Melissa.
Explain to us the mechanics of marking to market the gold reserves and what that does for Treasury.
So in 1934, the Fed transferred their gold holdings to the Treasury and in return got this gold certificate. In 1973, that gold, which totals about 260 million ounces or 8,100-ish tons, was valued at $42. So on the books of the Treasury, right now the gold's worth about $10 billion. But in reality, with gold at around 2,900, those holdings actually total north of 800 billion.
Now, did you guys catch what he said? He said the US does indeed have gold, but it is still priced as if it's in the 1970s, which was around $42 an ounce. Well, fast forward today, and gold is nearly $2,900 an ounce. And if they were to reprice it, it would be close to worth $1 trillion. Close to it. Not a trillion, but close to it. So that should make you wonder, why don't they talk about gold in mainstream media? As a matter of fact, look at these clips that I have here. Why do they tell people or suggest that the US sell its gold to buy Bitcoin? Why would lawmakers or politicians make a suggestion like that? That should really make you wonder why they don't talk about gold. And if they do, they want you to sell it. But then the Trump administration is talking about repricing it, making a reevaluation of the price to help with the budget deficit. It's almost as if they don't want you to own it, because if you own gold and silver, then you would be outside of the money system. And that is something they definitely do not want. Okay, so let's keep going because he has more to say. So let's continue.
2,900, those holdings actually total north of 800 billion. So I'm hearing chatter, and the Financial Times over the weekend in an editorial talked about the possibility that the Treasury, in a relationship with the Fed in terms of gold certificates or maybe a repo or other ways of basically injecting the difference between the current mark of 10 billion, I'm sorry, the current old mark really of 10 billion and what would be a new mark at 800 plus billion, and that cash would get injected to the Treasury general account.
That is very interesting. So again, they never talk about gold. They're very quiet when they talk about the gold holdings. But now there's discussion of actually using the gold and revaluing the gold. Now, let me ask you this. If they knew that the US was going to revalue gold, do you think there would be more interest in gold? If they did that, do you think more people would want to buy gold? That is a question you should ask yourself. And another question is, why have they not discussed gold at all? Why do we not hear any mainstream media talking about gold? Very interesting. But there's more.
So why does gold go higher in that scenario?
Well, it at least maybe would put a floor under the price of gold. Now, what would push it higher, we'll have to see. I think there's still other factors that have been in place over the last couple of years, like voracious central bank buying and gold becoming a really important sort of clearing of reserve transactions. China, for example, having $1 trillion of surplus, well, they're less and less recycling that in U.S. Treasuries, and they're doing it in gold. I think those trends continue on, but maybe just putting a floor underneath and really just telling people about the importance of gold in this world financial system that we're currently in right now.
Now, he said a whole lot there, y'all. A whole lot. And I really want people to just really go back and listen to that and let it sink in what he said. He said, put a floor on the price of gold. A floor, meaning that we already knew this. Gold has never gone to zero. But they want to put a floor, so a minimum amount on gold. So it's not going to zero. That's number one. Number two, he talked about the voracious appetite for gold by central banks. You don't hear about that, but they finally acknowledge central banks have been buying gold for several years now. And I have quite a few videos talking about that myself. Me and a bunch of other people here on YouTube have talked about that. Central banks have been buying gold. Another thing he said, they are not buying U.S. treasuries. They are buying gold instead of U.S. treasuries. And that is huge. People don't understand how important the U.S. treasuries are to the economy. We need the money from those treasury sales to other countries to help fund the country. If we don't have those monies coming in, which he just admitted that they're buying other things such as gold instead of treasuries, then that means we got to get the money from somewhere. Where will we get it from? We're going to get it probably from gold and higher taxes too, but that's another topic. But people need to understand gold is very important. We need gold. It is very important to our economy, and every individual should have some type of precious metal in their portfolio. And this is a perfect example as to why. Okay, so now I'm just throwing this in here just for perspective. This is what they are thinking about. That top left, U.S. national debt, 36 trillion 470 billion 301 million dollars. That's how much debt we have right now. Now, whether you agree or disagree with what Trump is doing, but in some instances, he's trying to trim cut costs or trim debt by doing all these different layoffs in the federal government and cutting some of these various programs, things of that nature. Whether you agree or disagree, that's not the point. The point is that's what they're trying to do. And what he's also looking at is how he can use gold to help trim some of this debt. So whether you agree or disagree is not the point. This is not a debate about if he's doing the right thing or not. This is simply, I'm trying to look at the mindset of what they are attempting to do with the government. And they're going to try to use gold, possibly, or looking at the idea of using gold to help trim this national debt along with other things. So it's very important that we look at the whole perspective and try to get a bird's eye view of what's going on. And then we can do what we need to do as people to help protect ourselves as well. So again, guys, it's not whether you agree or disagree with what they're doing. It's just trying to understand what they're doing and the steps you can take to protect yourself or take advantage of whatever they are doing. It's like if a hurricane is coming towards you and they've been talking about it for a week, I'm not going to sit back and try to analyze why it's here or who to blame. I'm going to do what I can do to protect myself and my family. I'm not finna overanalyze it. This is the same thing. There's a hurricane coming towards America. Are you going to sit back and analyze it, or are you going to try to do what you can do to protect yourself and come out ahead? That's the only way I can look at it at this point, because they're going to do whatever they want to do, whether I like it or not. All right, so here's some things that we can do. The first thing is to pay attention. Again, they don't talk about gold in mainstream media at all. If you left it to mainstream media and didn't do your own research, you would think gold is worthless and crypto is the only way to go, crypto and stocks. But you can clearly see that is not the case because behind the scenes, they are definitely looking at what they can do with gold. So, next, that means have money outside the system, and that could mean crypto, and that also means getting precious metals such as gold and silver. Because if something happens to the dollar, you still want to have some form of money that retains its value. So now that also means you must be prepared for inflation to continue to rise because that national debt does not help the purchasing power of the dollar. So you must be aware of that and do what you can do to protect yourself. And that also means creating multiple streams of income to help cover your various costs and expenses. The average person has one job and they expect that one job to pay all their bills. Well, unfortunately, that ain't working no more. That hasn't worked since the 70s and the early 80s. It doesn't work anymore. You have to have multiple income streams or at least multiple people in your house working a lot to survive today. So these are my steps. These are my tips. Let me know what you guys think. And also, you can see here I have two of my products. I've written books and I have online courses. Check out my book, Invest for Success: Millionaire Wealth Strategies Not Taught in School, and my online course titled The 9 to 5: How to Retire Early with Passive Income. Both of these are excellent financial tips, and I used to be a financial advisor many years ago. So I try to share the knowledge that I have from those days and things I've learned over the years. So the book is on Amazon and the online course is on Udemy. I will have the links in the description box. So let me know what you guys think. But watch out because things are about to get really interesting in 2025. Peace.